So, what do you guys think about the E.G. Kamyongma and the tucking, tailbone, lifting anus, spine stuff after you guys watching my video in the previous few days?
It violates the natural body mechanics. It's like you destroying your own body. You violate everything that has to do with your own body, because you can't be flexible, you can't be dynamic, you can't move, and you disallocated your upper and lower body, so you can't even breathe. So if you do that, you will injure your body for sure. It's good that you highlighted it, because people, I met so many people that say, yeah, but my seafood tell me this. Yeah, but how do your body tell you? You need to listen to your body. If your body say it's wrong, you should not do it, because your body is sending you all the signals that it's wrong. You need to start to listen to your body. If your body say this is violating my design, or I feel pain, but then you need to stop doing that kind of stuff, because it will not develop you anyway. It will only get you injured in the end.
Anybody want to share more?
Yeah, it's not based on modern sports science as well. So it has no basis in that. And you demonstrated this in the video with a pelvic floor muscle trainer, where the toes has to be outwards and not inwards. So that's one scientific proof that says that the triangular shape, putting the toes in and pigeon toe, it has no scientific basis. It will lead to nowhere.
Yes, and to me, it's like Joe and Dick already said, it's something. Yeah, you're not agile. Your body's not alive. You injure your body. You cannot breathe. You have all these things which are really important. And if you tuck your tailbone, it's like, yeah, it's like being a robot. You can move your body. You can bend forward. You can bend backwards. You can move your legs. So everything is disintegrated. And yeah, you nailed it all the time, and it's very important that everybody knows about it. And yeah, it's really I mean, yes, I agree what Dick and Joe already said.
You guys train that way, right?
Yeah.
Joe, you train that way, right? How long you train that way?
More than 10 years.
So why do you do it?
I did it because the way I was taught the 1960 Wing Chun, it's based on structure. So that Yi-Ji Kim Yong Ma, it creates a strong structure, but it's static. You cannot move from it. And I discovered later on by watching your videos that it's very, very unhealthy and doesn't follow the nature of the human body. In the long term, it will lead for sure to injuries, to harm, and regardless of also the harm, Wing Chun should not be based on structure. It's not structure based. So it defies the main foundation of how Wing Chun was supposed to be, and how it was created by the ancestors.
Daniel, you practice those things too?
Yes, of course. I mean, you practice what your teacher teaches you, and because you don't know, and if you don't know, you won't be able to correct everything. But like Joe already said, it's unnatural to stand like that. You can move with being, for example, when you move forward, you move linear, and you put your weight on the rear leg, which was really important then, and keep your knees together so you won't get hit, kicked in your groin and all that stuff. And it's not natural, you know. And yeah.
And you know something, Daniel? You know something, Daniel? There's this huge disagreement in the Wing Chun community. Like you mentioned some stuff, And oh my God, I was taught differently about the Ni'en, for example. It's
Yes,
different. So
yes,
this standardization and non-scientific basis of the current state of the Wing Chun, it's a disaster.
It's like you say, everybody
Everyone
knows
has
it
an
better.
opinion.
Yes,
Everyone has
its
an
own
opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like you say. I mean, I had two teachers before, and he had his opinion. The other one had his opinion, and if you go somewhere else, they have their own opinion, and there's no agreement.
Even the Yiji Kim Yong Ma, each sifu, each grandmaster teaches it differently. Yeah, I was taught it very differently, for example, from other lineages. So it's
yeah. For
it's
me, it was lift your hip up, so you tuck your tailbone already. Then
no, I wasn't taught like this.
Yes, but that's what I'm telling you. Then yes, it was wrong, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, then you have some. Yeah, you have to keep your pelvic down. Okay, don't because you have to be loose. Yeah, but what does loose mean? You know, and nobody was able to explain what loose means. Everybody talks about soft and this and that. It's always the same. You know, everybody has his own opinion. It's really a mess. You know.
So what is soft? What is soft?
Yeah, it's a hard definition. What soft is, depending on who is teaching you. Soft is
soft? Okay, so Wing Chun is supposed to listen to your Jing, listens to all this thing, and then it be soft. So what is that? There is a problem now. Okay.
Yes.
So you know, if let's not put on people or blaming on people. Just ask the technical questions. Don't you know that you cannot activate your pelvis floor muscle if you go do pigeon toe? And now the Western science can show that pelvic floor muscle need to be function properly with your diaphragm and so forth for breathing. Now, all the Chinese talking about lifting anus, tucking tailbone, straighten your spine, have the qi flow from your spine to your top. How is that going to even satisfy the really basic of handling your pelvis floor muscle? If you don't feel that pelvic floor muscle, which is of course people don't feel it, so what are you training? So the thing is that you don't aware of your body. Don't suppose you to sense your body, you have to be soft. How can you be soft if you couldn't even know your body? So now this is the problem. Okay, let me tell you guys, I never care for who is the best fighter, the oldest lineage, or even what Yit Kam say, or whatever the King could say. I never care for that. The reason why I am with General Qi Ji Guang is if you read my book, the 1560s Kung Fu, Qi Ji Guang's book say that this is following the traditional rule, but it is not stuck at the traditional rule. It has to be practical and it has to be able to use in this time. Well, 460 years ago, Qi Ji Guang tell you, right?
Yeah.
So you have all this grandmaster since 460 years ago. Are you guys following that or not? So he is not following which grandmaster or care for this guy say this or get that guy say. He want to be, based on what I just tell you, Qi Ji Guang want to be practical, so that it is also can be used at his time. But he didn't do anything which is against the tradition, the rule of the Chinese tradition. So for me, my opponent is not any grandmaster, any lineage.
in Wing Chun, or even Xi Xiaodong. My opponent is not that. My opponent is, how do you stand in front of science? How do you stand up with the science measurement? For lifting anus and tucking tailbone, for past 2 weeks, I'm talking about this item. People might have all the opinion. Some might like, some might not like. Maybe some even take me as a fan, so whatever I say, they say yes, which is the wrong way. When I share with you that, you know, how the rehab of the pelvis floor muscle, that is science. It doesn't matter it's Qi Ji Guang time or today. Your human body is human body. You don't evolve that much, okay? So don't tell me when Wing Chun stand in the pigeon toe stance. Don't tell me if when Wing Chun exists or Mui exists, stand in that stance. Why? Because human-wise, that doesn't make sense. Not to mention that the ancient told you already, you want to sing Qi, you have to be in 2C. You have to be in 2C.
Yep.
Okay, so now you got a problem. The ancient tell you, and if you read the Kung Fu 1560, you say that you have to breathe the Shaolin, right?
Yeah.
You have to breathe going down to the lower abs. The minute you pigeon toe, your breathing cannot go down to the lower abs. Okay? So for 100 years, based on science, what you guys doing? What is all this grandmaster doing?
Violate Qi Ji Guang.
It's
And
not
also,
violating Qi Ji Guang. It's got nothing to do with Qi Ji Guang, Dick. It is violating human science. And when you violate human science, you cannot get result. So that's why I just now saying that don't be my fan. I don't want anybody's friend. My channel is open up to say that you based on science, you look at that thing, it doesn't work. Okay? So my opponent is not Xi Xiaodong or which lineage, which grandmaster. My opponent is the science. Does it function? In this case, it doesn't function. And then when based on something not function, you add up to say that you have the chi power, mind power, all this thing. I know you don't have it. I know you cannot deliver.
Yep.
It's science. It's not Hendrik. It's not Yikam lineage. It's not 1850 Wing Chun. It is very basic science. If Chinese martial art, Chinese Kung Fu or Wing Chun cannot get into reference on, as the others say, that science, engineering, technology, you don't have Chinese Kung Fu. Don't BS about it. You don't have it. Qi Ji Guang based on science. Look at his stuff.
otherwise, he wouldn't be able to defeat the Japanese pirate if he didn't.
I mean, it's not only defeat, it's life and death.
Yeah.
You know how much pressure is that when you say, tomorrow I'm going to war and I bring this 1,000 army up, how many will bring home?
Yeah.
It's just like in the Silicon Valley when we want to release a product for production test, the first version, you practically sometimes you don't sleep well at night. When I was in a startup company, the first chips come back, people do not know how to face it. So I said, no problem. I do the checkup. And if there's no problem, I tell you guys no problem. So I do that, sitting down there doing my stuff. And then after a few hours, I said, no problem, come up. Everything's fine. Can be solved. So that is how much pressure it is. So this is exactly the same thing is, you look at Qi Kong, people die. Okay, a chips, if it screw up, okay, the worst is I pay $1 more million for that rebuild that thing. But if his army die, he lost, that means the entire thing gone.
Yeah.
That's fighting, okay? You go into the ring today, you lost, big deal. Just don't be playing naive that even we are not be able to fight, we still want to go for it. You know, if we don't have the technical, then forget about it, right? Don't play macho.
Yeah.
Be who you are, okay? So now back to the Xu Lim Tao. You have the entire thing which is not making sense in biomechanics and human biology. And you couldn't even breathe. You want to tell me all this internal stuff? Will I buy it? That's why you cannot face Xi Xiaodong. With all those things, I can show Xi Xiaodong there's nothing he cannot say. There's nothing he can put this thing down. Of course, I can say, hey, Xi Xiaodong, you are good. You are young, you are strong, you're born healthy, you train better than me, you might be able to fight better than me. But when it's about Wing Chun and Chinese Kung Fu, you leave that for the science. Between you and me, I can say, okay, you're a better fighter than me. But between Wing Chun and Kung Fu, the science has the say. Nobody can overturn it, overrule it. So that is my bottom line. Why? You know how many million is out there? If we don't base on science and based on my opinion, your opinion, today this opinion, tomorrow that opinion, how many people go round and round with you? So didn't every martial artist talk about this responsibility, royalty? Are you take care of your people? What Qi Ji Guang take care of his people for sure, right? So you want to be a grandmaster, do you take care of your people? Now you know already, by those kind of stand, your pelvic floor muscle cannot be activated properly. Thus, your breathing cannot be activated properly. What do you want to argue? Can you argue with science?
No, you need to follow it.
So what is the future of Wing Chun? If this is not settled, what is the future? You cannot move your body, you cannot breathe. How can you compare with Western boxing? Just ask the simple questions. So if you want the patriarch royal to Wing Chun, ask the same question. That's why I say it's a time to change it. Not blaming the past. And obviously, whoever do all this kind of thing, they do not have the education. They don't know their body. They don't have the education of the past. They don't have the education of the science. We cannot blame them. But for here on, everything better based on science. And based on what really the ancient talk about. Unless we do that, we are not even a good businessman, right? A good businessman will like to sell the product and will like everybody to buy their product. And I'm sure all the grandmaster and the sifu like to sell the best product. But because they don't have the education, they do not have the scientific verifications, they cannot get there. They do not get to that level. The past nobody can change, but the future is once we know it, we change it right away, overnight. Or else, what are you doing? That's why years ago, I wrote the Wing Chun Matrix for that 2C state. If you don't get 2C state, I guarantee it, your Xu Lim Tao will never work. Why do I know? Because this is ancient. Why do I know? Because I tested out with scientific instrument. I have to perform in front of that scientific instrument. I cannot say I am the 5th generation from Yik Kam. I have the writing, clear cut writing. I have the entire system from the Yik Kam or the 1850s Wing Chun. I cannot say that. Why? Because the scientific tools do not give a damn who the hell Hendrik is. What is your lung capacity? Can you do it? What is your inhale, exhale strength? Can you do it? The instrument asks you that question. What is your heart rate variability? What is your heart rate? That is what I'm facing. Not any grandmaster or whatever, because I don't, I'm not a guy who can fight. I'm the number 10,000 number 5, when it comes to fighting. Okay, you guys can be the first best fighter. I am the 10,000 number 5 or 100,000 number for 50,000 or whatever. The issue is when I face the science, the scientific instrument, I have to answer. Can I deliver? If I can deliver, I know the method, everybody know for free. The most is you pay for the books. You know how to do it. So right now is not between lineage in Wing Chun. It is facing science. Okay? That is the scary part. Why? Because you get wiped out overnight. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, I shared with you guys on this thing. I proved to you guys that pigeon toe is not the way, because medical today don't do that. It's opposite way.
Yep.
Do you think it's better a Wing Chuner tell you this, or Xi Xiaodong get his people in China post an article like that? If it is not me, but Xi Xiaodong's people, the young Chinese, post an article like that, your entire Wing Chun gone. Because it just go to your root. It's like a missile hitting the root of your building, the entire thing gone. You have nothing left. All those grandmaster name is gone, completely gone. Because people just can question, okay, you say this is good, this is good, this is internal, this is mind power, blah, blah, blah. How come it doesn't follow the human body? How come this get your internal energy? How come you sing your qi to Dantian? Of course you can. So that's why I'm asking people, if that breathing pathway from nose down to the where you get from this thing and from the straw, if you never develop that, you don't know what is inside there. And that is, in the Chinese, is called 内练一口气. Internally, we train the breath. That's exactly what it is. You need to have your breathing pathway developed. And in Julian Tao, if you don't have your breathing pathway developed, the 5th verse saying that sing to the Dantian, all this let me check it. The 5th. Okay, so the 5th saying that union in Dantian do meridian descents. Okay, union in Dantian meaning your breathing, which is the post-birth breathing, using the ancient Taoist term, and the pre-birth breathing, which is in your Dantian, the union in that Dantian, and your Du meridian, and your Qi sinking. So in today's language, it's saying that you'll be able to activate your pelvic floor muscle and your vagus nerve. What do you call it? The nerve can make you relax. So that entire line 5 in this Wing Chun Inception, in Chinese term, that is what it is. Okay. Now, if we cannot do that, that means there's no Xing Qi to Dantian. What are you develop? So you can ask all those Kung Fu teacher in Qi Gong or whatever, do you have the path of the breathing? Like, you know, when I say that using the 2C and the straw inside there the other day, I have a full explanation lecture in breathing. If you don't develop that, you don't have the path of the breathing. What do you have? Nothing. And sure, I can make this triangle shape and then make it like a rack so that I can resist force. Somebody at the 60 might have the thought that, oh, if I do this, I can resist force. And of course, they're doing their thinking too. It's not that they are not doing their job. The issue is that they do not know that the ancient has much more layer deeper. And if we don't have the science today, and if say Hendrik tell you, oh, the ancestor is the deep, you say, well, Hendrik is bullshit. But today, when I get the ancestor stuff mapped into the science and tell you what it is, and you can do what it is, and it match up the spot science, then you know, wow. So in the 60s, when they talk about this triangle shape, the line and all this kind of stuff, those are get into the mathematics, the geometry, some kinds of what do you call that? The mechanics, like the class, the mechanic class. Okay, so the static in the physics. What they don't know is this is human body. Sure, you want the body to be this way, that way, to be able to handle the static. However, you miss the body. And the ancient is actually the body with the entire dynamics. So this is the dilemma we have, or disaster we have. But then we don't have a disaster, but luckily that we have the 1850s shooting Tao writing. Luckily, sports science is this advanced. So it connected, we know right away what it is. It is about me, no, it's not about me. I'm just the guy who do the investigation and tell you guys, okay, this is this. Got nothing to do with me, but this is science. So you cannot against me. Why? Because it is not me, it is science. And if somebody tomorrow find out something better, that's good. Because the bottom line is going to science. Well, I have the opportunity to figure out this. You might have the opportunity to figure out something better than me. That's how it's supposed to be. So what do you guys think?
I think it's good because you always tell us that everything you put forward that you have tested, you put it forward that we should test it. So we know how it's feel and how we develop it. So it's not just, oh, I have tested it, so you need to do like this. You're giving us the method to try it out ourselves. And I think that's the key point. Because if you're going to develop something, you need to try it out by yourself so you get the correct feeling for it.
See, I'm not a grandmaster. I'm just an engineer. I always say I'm an engineer. An engineer's job in design, engineering is to test it out and then to program it so everybody be able to do it. So it's very clear in our eyes already, in front of our eyes, this is a problem. If you don't, So it is better off you change your Xu Lim Tao stance to as what I'm saying yesterday, which is based on science. And right away, you can find your body function better. And if you want, go get this Wing Chun matrix, just develop the 2C. Develop the 2C step by step. How difficult is that? And then after you develop that, you can go measure your lung capacity and everything. See that whether it is true or not that it increased the lung capacity. You can go stand in your pigeon toe, take this inhale test, exhale test, and then the lung capacity test. And then you stand in as what I show you in the 2C and do the same test and see, is it improve or not? Why do you have to believe me? You don't need to believe me.
You know, we keep on hearing that martial arts are science. Oh, the scientific method, like you're instructing here. So everyone should follow the scientific method from now on. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, it is not follow Hendrik, okay? Make sure that you guys know, okay? I'm not against any lineage or any grandmaster or whatever. Past is past. They don't have the education like us today. They don't have the information. Today we have it. Follow science. Whoever is proper according to science, we follow them. Not follow any grandmaster, any sifu. That's the democratic way. You can argue with me. Not because I'm Hendrik, you cannot argue with me, but you need to take your science data and so forth. Otherwise, how can we progress?
We can't.
Yeah, I mean, always I am the expert. How can we progress? And always and always is saying that, oh, I'm better. I have this master. I have this secret set. That's nonsense. Okay, you want to hear on science is the bottom line.
Yeah, why do we need lineages? We don't, because either you practice Wing Chun.
Okay, lineages is okay.
Yeah,
lineage is a style. Like
yeah, but
you know, Dick, this is the issue. Lineages is like a style. Like I wearing a T-shirt today. Yeah. Tomorrow I can wear a Chinese cloth, and there's lineage, a lineage of clothing, different style. That's okay.
Yeah.
But T-shirt or the Chinese clothing all have to base on science. Okay.
Sorry, I lost the.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So you all have to base on science. The issue is science, it's not lineage. But you don't use the term lineage to cover up what you don't know or your own alibi. Because this is a convenient thing to cover up what you don't know in science. I cannot say it because I don't understand what is writing in the 1850 Xu Lim Tao Creed. I don't understand the breathing. And then I say that this is just Hendrik's lineage. This is my way. This is our way. Different people doing different way. That is using all this clever talk to cover up science. And that is not proper.
No, isn't it? Either you practice Wing Chun or you don't. And then lineage doesn't matter.
No. That's not true, Dick. That's why I'm trying to say. What is so-called either you practice Wing Chun? According to what? Well, if you say I practice Wing Chun, that's number one. You accord to the ancient teaching. The second, the ancient teaching is based on science. And lineage means you can have variations. You are tall, you are short, even the clothes, like the 613-3, you need to have a system variations. You cannot say, I'm Indonesians, and then Daniel is Italian. We all have the same, eat the same food. No, no way. Okay.
No, for me, style is how you adjust the art to your body. That's your style. See? It's not your student style, and it's not next one's style.
That is also the problem. See, this, whatever just now you said is based on you. Well, I don't create Wing Chun. I mean, whoever create Wing Chun, it's like who invent this t-shirt. There's only one t-shirt. When you talk about t-shirt, everybody knows t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
However, you can have a bigger t-shirt size, smaller t-shirt size, and then there are different type of the variations, you know, the style variation. That is free for everybody to do their job. But what, even up to here, what I'm talking about is not based on Hendrik. I think everybody have to do in this Wing Chun. Wing Chun what? What are you based on? So Dick, your logic is also problem because it's based on Wing Chun. Wing Chun is something not defined. I'm saying that Wing Chun is defined by the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao, and it's defined by the science which is supporting that. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's no ambiguity. If we don't have that, and it will start again like 80 years ago, everybody is going to define their own stuff. It can mean anything. Okay? So it has to be this way. Or else we're going to screw people left and right. You come to my school, this is Wing Chun. You go to the school, it's Wing Chun.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay? It's just like engineering. Okay, you have a 5G, this wireless Ethernet service, 5G. Everybody know what 5G is clearly defined. You cannot say, well, everybody follow 5G, but what is 5G? If it's not clearly defined, stay away from that.
Yeah.
You cannot say, well, we all do E.G. Kamehameha. Define E.G. Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Right? So I like to put this thing up front. E.G. Kamehameha means that you have to be able to handle your pivot floor muscle. Don't tell me about tuck in the tailbone or contract your anus. That is not the key. That is the method to do something. And what you want to do something is that pivot floor muscle. Okay, time's up. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
Bye.